My wife told me she's leaving me. To begin. Me, 29 male, and my wife, 23 female, were married in late 2014. We've only been married for a little over 3 months to the day. We started dating around 3.5 years ago when I was 26 and she was 21. Popped the question after 2 years together, planned the wedding for 1 year, and got married. Everything was great. By the way, this comes from Divorce Throwaway 1235, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So about a month ago, she started acting different. I can't really put it into words, but it's a lot like the uncanny valley, studying nuances that just clue you into the fact that something isn't right. Asking her if something was wrong led to the obvious and infamous, "I'm fine." I've grown accustomed to it. So around this time, it came to my attention. I asked to see her phone after noticing her guarding it constantly, that she was talking to a coworker on social media. The exchange wasn't anywhere near as damning as what you tend to read about on here, but still worrisome. The coworker said a few things that I told her crossed some real boundaries that we had set. "I really wish you were here to rub my head and make me fall asleep. And I'm trying to get out with you tonight." Okay, not cool. The rest of it was her getting upset that he didn't tell her what he was doing over time. Here's the part where I take a lot of this heat. I've had some real trust issues in this relationship. She was texting/deleting texts to an ex behind my back for a solid 3 months earlier in the relationship, and we broke up. We ended up working it out, but that trust was really broken that day. The real tragedy is that I disrespected the sanctity of our marriage by entering into it with someone I didn't trust. I was too afraid to lose her. I find these messages about 45 minutes before we leave for work, and she comes out and sits on the couch and starts crying and says she's not happy. I, of course, attempted to console her and asked her if it had anything to do with this mysterious coworker. She said it did not, and she was just unhappy with her whole life. She insinuated that she was unhappy with our marriage, and I asked if she was actually sitting here contemplating divorce, something I told her I don't do unless there's adultery. She said, "I don't know." I really feel that moment was the beginning of the end. She became distant, all spicy sleep stopped, and she was cold, rude, and simply checked out. She started staying at work. She's a call center rep, and extra 60 to 90 minutes late every day, stating that she was on a long call. She was no longer affectionate and was no longer loving, no matter what. She didn't want to do anything that could be considered a marital asset. I'm glad she did this. We discussed counseling less than a week ago. She wanted to do it, so did I. I asked her earlier today what she wanted me to bring home for dinner since she had spent the entire day at her family's. She said, "Nothing." I got one-word answers all day long today and not a single reply to an "I love you" or "Hey, I'm at work, love ya." It was, "Okay." Why? Okay. So I walked to the door immediately after work, and she's on the couch crying. I go over, hug her, and ask her what's wrong. She mutters, "I'm leaving." I felt gone inside. I couldn't cry. I couldn't get angry. I could only sit down and put my head in my hands. I calmly told her that we would need to divide the phone bill and that I'd keep the dogs so they don't get split up. She agreed. I told her that I wanted to be here when she picked up her stuff from her house. She said it was never her home. We moved in June 2014. Thankfully, the house was a gift from my grandmother, and my grandmother's name was still on it. I packed all her stuff up and told my boss what was happening. She gave me the go-ahead to take the next 3 to 4 days off to sort it out. She was crying. She asked me for a hug for some reason. I don't know why, but I obliged and told her that I loved her and didn't want this. She said she didn't either. I know I did a lot of wrong in my relationship. I wish I would have sought help for these trust issues long ago. Yes. Thankfully, she had stated that since we own nothing of value, the divorce is going to be pretty simple. She gets her stuff, I get her key, and she's gone. She's going to buy me out of the phone bill, and I'll get her removed. We didn't buy any sort of marital assets while we were together, so it should be a clean break. I hopefully won't even need a lawyer. I have this nagging feeling that I need to seek the use of a lawyer anyways, that if the woman I married, the woman that I knew for almost 3 years could turn that quickly, I may need a lawyer to protect myself. Edit, I told her that I had packed her stuff up last night, that it shouldn't take too long to move it at all. She asked if I was going to be here when she came over. I'm a little concerned that 10 plus members of her family are going to show up and literally rob me blind. I will update when this is over, and there is an update. So the night of the event, as I said, I stayed up all night packing her things and putting them in the hallway. I texted her the following day to tell her it was all packed, and the sooner she could get there, the better it would be for the both of us. She said she was coming around 11 a.m. She didn't get there until almost 4 p.m. During that period of time, I contacted our wireless provider to get her taken off the bill. Changed the passwords to every account I had, deleted all social media accounts after blocking her and her family and any mutual friends I met through her. Whoa. And contacted some friends to see if any of them were available to be here with me when her and her family got here to take her stuff out of the house. I had 3 friends show up. Her family didn't even come to help her on day 1, with the exception of her brother, who told her she was just quote unquote too immature for marriage. Things were friendly between us. She showed up and stood in the bathroom crying for 15 minutes. I was nothing but friendly to her and offered to help move some of the heavier stuff out. She loaded her car, said she'd be back with a truck later for big things, and left. My friend said I did a great job being friendly and helpful, and that it was as good as it could have went. She never comes back with the truck. She went to the phone store to pick out a brand new expensive smartphone and an expensive plan to accompany it. For better or for worse, she was always attached at the hip to the phone, so it made sense to me that this would be a priority for her. I am going to be charged a $300 to $400 cancellation. She states she's going to pay with me. She claims. I thankfully agreed, but I expect that I will be paying this bill alone. No matter what, I'm prepared. After a night with some friends, I need an extra bit of shut-eye, but she's calling and knocking at my door at 9 a.m. in the morning, bright and early. Part of me suspects she did this to avoid any of my friends being there. Part of me suspects she wants to show off her brand new phone. No, I'm just kidding. But likely, she just wanted to get it done. I let her in, said good morning, and let her get to work. We did a walkthrough of all the other rooms. She agreed there was nothing left in there for her to take. I shut the doors and made it clear that those rooms would be off limits when family showed up to help. She agreed. I tried to give her some of our wedding gifts, a blender, etc., if she wanted them. I told her I wouldn't mind if she kept the blender, if she was all right with that, to which she gave me the surprising answer, "What? You're going to start working out like you used to? Trying to make me jealous?" Now, this is said very, very sarcastically. A little backstory. I put on about 35 to 40 pounds over the past few years. I used to be a lot more trim, a lot more muscular. She has known that I started going back to the gym a few months ago with her, and that it was something I had used frequently in the past to assist myself, both mentally and physically. I gave a lighthearted reply in, "Well, that's the plan, I guess." She then started screaming, "Me too! Motivation, motivation, motivation!" and went back to packing her stuff. I started getting worried at this point. Maybe this ability I thought she had going into this isn't something she's going to carry through the entirety of it. She started finding little things to try and get me upset with. A Christmas ornament my 4-year-old nephew gave me because it looked like my dog. It had sat on my computer desk in the office for 3 years. She wanted it, claimed it as hers, and I gladly gave it to her. She wanted some brass moose thing and a piggy bank with 30 to 40 cents inside of it. Keep counting. I said they were all hers, and that was absolutely fine by me. She went into the rooms I had closed off and got those things. That was the last time she entered any of those rooms. She then asked if I'd help her move all of her things to the car, but once again, no one came to help her. I told her I did not want to assist her any more than I have to. Heavy things. I did this as calmly and straightforward as I could. This was petty on my part, but I feel that in this scenario, I really shouldn't be assisting her with this. She got an attitude about this, and she didn't appreciate how I was crap talking her with my friends yesterday. Since I wasn't doing this, I assumed she was trying to, once again, get me upset, so I calmly told her I wasn't. I accepted that I've got some blame in this as well, and I apologize to you for getting married to you when I didn't trust. It wasn't fair to you. It disrespects what our marriage is about, and I am sorry. Her demeanor seemed to change almost instantly. She packed it all up again, and her father called me to say they'd be there in a moment. She was leaving when I asked for the house key. She gave me a separate key that wasn't to the home. I tested it in the front to show her that I knew, and she muttered something and drove off. Her family got there 2 hours later. It was just mom and dad. They moved the rest out. We were more than amicable towards each other, and I even helped him move some of the larger pieces to the truck. I wished them both well, said goodbye, and shut the door. At this point, my closest friend's stepfather called me to ask if I was okay. He came by, we had a few drinks, and I changed the locks. The only thing left at this point is the simplified dissolution of marriage, which I will be getting notarized Monday, signed by her on Wednesday, the next day she's free, and we'll be turning it in that day. After this is done, I should be, start to finish, divorced in less than a week. I don't really feel any certain way. I haven't missed her like I have girlfriends in the past. I haven't stayed up at night thinking about her. I'm more concerned with her well-being than I am about anything physical she may be doing. those thoughts haven't bothered me at all. Once we're officially divorced, I'm going 100% no contact. Phone number is getting changed. It's the most important part. And that is the conclusion.